Hey y'all, my name is Drew McCampbell, here to bring you the ethicality of implantation. But first, it's story time. Y'all see this scar on my forearm? I don't know if y'all can, y'all are kind of far away. Well, it's kind of big and it's kind of nasty. Let me tell you how it happened. Uh, Earlier this year in January, I think it was, I was coming back from school at 5:30. Something's not right with the world if you're coming back from school at 5:30. Chemistry labs. Eat those. Anyways, I had somewhere to be at 6, but I was kind of hungry, so I decided to make myself a sandwich. And as I was making the sandwich on the counter for some reason, I reached up in the cabinet above me and was pulling a glass plate to eat it on. I think y'all can see where this is going. I accidentally dropped it and went down to catch it, and I did catch it, but not before it hit the counter. And so the broken end bounced up into my arm, and I was stuck holding the unbroken end with my hand and the broken end in my arm. I actually had to use my other hand to take the plate out. And yeah, I, I looked at it and it was just a little divot at first, and then the blood started seeping in, and I was like, "Yeah, Mom, I think I might be late to that other thing." So yeah, needless to say, it was a little painful. Where that comes into this subject, though, is I thought that was where microchips would be implanted, but that is actually not the case. It is inserted in your hand in between your thumb and forefinger with a giant needle. So I wouldn't get one if you hate needles. Are RFID implantations ethical? I have done much research on this topic and believe that more people should be aware of this upcoming choice in advanced technology. The assignment concerns international relevance, which is a good thing for me because RFID technologies are far more industrialized in Sweden and Germany than here. This is corroborated by an article by Dale Hurd published on October of 2018 and accessed on October 18th of this year. Let's first discuss how these seemingly magical devices work. I researched this topic generally for English 112 and found that RFID technology to be simple at the surface, yet really, really complicated once you get down to the level of coding and the like. So, in this presentation, instead of going into the stuff that will drive you insane trying to figure out, I did the more simple tack and decided to explain that simply RFIDs are inserted into your hand like so, and then communicate with a reader, which is programmed beforehand, and then once it comes within a certain range, then it performs the test set out before it. I've found a synopsis of RFID technology given by Jordan Frith in his book, A Billion Little Pieces, published in 2019, accessed on October 18th. It reads, quote, "A basic RFID system needs three things to work: a transponder, a reader, and software that connects the reader to a larger system. The transponder is the chip or tag that houses the data. The reader is what activates the transponder in a passive system or receives the transmitted data in an active system." End quote. This quote means that if I have a transponder in my hand, then it can either activate or be activated by a ranged device once it comes within a certain range, as explained in the previous photograph. This presentation, however, is not about how they work. It's about whether they're ethical or not. So let's move to that. There are two main concerns in opposition to RFID implantation in your hand. The main ones being privacy and what Christians would call the mark of the beast. Employee privacy has been an issue for decades. According to Mark Van Lieshout and Linda Kuhl, authors of a section in the textbook called The Future of Identity in the Information Society, quote, "Function creep, the extension of the functionality of systems, lurks around the corner. Data mining technologies enable tracing specific patterns within large data heaps and revealing social networks on the basis of these patterns." End quote. This was published in 2008 and accessed on October 16th of this year. What this means is that almost all information, while extremely difficult to obtain in some cases, can be made available through the technology that is RFID implantation. The other argument concerns the mark of the beast. There is a prophecy in the final book of the New Testament about a mark that will distinguish those who are under the influence of the Antichrist. It tells of how none could buy or sell unless they possess this mark, which signifies the beast by its name or a number that signifies its name. This is found in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 18, if y'all want to check that out. It's also corroborated by an article by Terry Williams, published in November of 2017, which I accessed on the 16th of October. That being said, there are benefits to having these microchips implanted in one system. Overall, the main 2 points advocating microchip implants are convenience and medical data. Here's a quote from Jefferson Graham of USA Today, which was published in August of 2017 and accessed on the 18th of October. Quote, "In the future, consumers could zip through airport scanners, sans passport or driver's license, open doors, start cars, and operate home automation systems. All of it, if the technology pans out, with the simple wave of a hand." End quote. This technology is not theoretical, as it is being implemented in densely populated areas of Sweden and Germany. Benefits don't even stop there. The main capacity in which these implants are already being used revolves around medical concerns. These implants can detect anything from elevated temperature to even high cholesterol levels and notify a medical provider immediately. Medical and health monitoring features alone may easily be what takes implanted microchips mainstream. This is corroborated by an article by Dale Hurd, published 2018, accessed October 2016. No, not 2016. The day 16. Now that I've given sufficiently basic arguments for both sides, let's recap. I covered several points, varying in strength and validity. On the negative hand, we have implant privacy concerns and the potential mark of the beast. On the other hand, we have increased convenience and medical safety. While Rfid technology is common as sliced bread, its implantation has varying opinions on its ethical nature. Since this speech's purpose is to inform rather than to persuade, I shall leave the decision up to y'all as to whether Rfid implantation is prudent or not. Remember this though, we will have to make the choice at some point or other. Thank you. Are there any questions? Helen?
You have one?
Do I have one? No, I don't. Yeah. Probably not, but if it were to come to America and become mainstream, most likely I would get one. I'm not that opposed to it. Julia?
What made you so interested in this topic?
That's a really, really good question. What made me interested in this topic was I honestly stumbled upon it randomly and didn't realize that people were implanting the same type of things used in credit cards in their system to be able to do things more conveniently. And I found that was really interesting, especially since it is hardly ever used here in America. Okay.
What do you see as a possibility of somebody having too much information about you? Do you see that as a possible problem?
I see it would be. The problem isn't as much as too much information about you, because in order for it to work, it has to house a lot of information about you. How safe it is just determines on how prudent you are with it. And even though privacy is a big concern, the only people that would have access to it would be people that would program it, which there are laws that can make it harder for people to access it. And also, most hacking involves direct contact with the device. And in order to get a direct contact with this device, it would involve things that are very, very difficult to perform.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That